Hi, Apprentice 1 class. Welcome to week 23, new grammar. Today we're going to start with timeline. I'm going to show you the cards first, and then then I'll show you the signs, okay? So we have, let me get my notes. Age of Information and Globalization, circa 1970 to the present. Watergate, President Nixon resigns. Fall of Communism in Eastern Europe. European Union formed. Apartheid abolished in South Africa. September 11th, 2001. Rising Tide of Freedom. Now, if you haven't been reading the timeline cards, if you have them at home, I recommend them. But anyway, so the signs. So for Age of Information and Globalization, for information, we're going to type like we're on a computer. Okay, Age of Information and Globalization, circa 1970 to the present. Now is the present. Now, if you want to do 70, you can, 70 to the present. Watergate involves spies, so we're going to do the sign for spy, which these are eyes. See, like our eyes. Watergate, President Nixon resigns. Fall of communism in Eastern Europe. Just bounce your E, Eastern Europe. Again, E, European Union formed. So for union, we unite our two fingers. Union formed. Apartheid is apart, so this is a sign for apart. Apartheid abolished in South Africa. South Africa, we're going to make an S, bring it down to the south, and make it into an A. I don't know if you can see that. S to A, South Africa. September 11th, 2001. This is the sign for 1,000, M down for millennia. So September 11th, 2001. Rising tide of freedom, rising tide of freedom, because the words repeat. Okay, so with the music.
Age of Information and Globalization, circa 1970 to the present. Watergate, President Nixon resigns.
The best is au revoir.
Fall of communism in Eastern Europe. European Union formed. Apartheid abolished in South Africa. 2018, September 11th, 2001. Rising tide of freedom, rising tide of freedom. Timeline, timeline, I'm part of my timeline. Timeline, this is my timeline.
And that is the end of our timeline song. Good job, guys. You made it through the whole song this year. Okay, next we're going to do math. For math, we have the distributive law. So I'll show you on the paper first. The distributive law states that A times, I know you don't see a times symbol there, but that's what it means when it's next to something else. So it's A times, open parentheses, B plus C, close parentheses, equals A times B. Once again, you have to just pretend it's there. When two letters are next to each other, you multiply them. So A times B plus A times C. I'll send you the song, but this is how it goes. The distributive law, the distributive law, the distributive law states that A times open parentheses, B plus C close parentheses equals A times B plus A times C, and that's the distributive law. And that's the distributive law. Great job, guys. All right, next we have history. For history, we have, tell me about the Gulf War. So, tell me about the Gulf War. In 1990, President George H.W. Bush sent troops to the Persian Gulf to expel Iraqi leader Saddam Hussein from Kuwait during the Gulf War. And here we have a nice picture of this is Iraq. I'm sorry, that's not Iraq. This is Iraq. Here is Kuwait, and here is the Persian Gulf. Okay? So here are the signs. Tell me about the Gulf War. In 1990, so we're going to do 90. In 1990, President, so here's American president, so President George, G for George, H, W, B for Bush. So 1990, President George H. W. Bush sent troops, so the troops, to the Persian Gulf. So P, we're going to make a P and we're going to go in our Gulf here. Okay, Persian Gulf. To expel, so say you're out. Expel Iraqi leader, S for Saddam, H for Hussein, from K for Kuwait during, let's point to our Gulf again, Gulf War. Okay, so I'll do the signs again as they say it, and then we'll do it with the music. Ready?
Week 23. Tell me about the Gulf War. In 1990, President George H.W. Bush sent troops to the Persian Gulf to expel Iraqi leader Saddam Hussein from Kuwait during the Gulf War. In 1990, President George H.W. Bush sent troops to the Persian Gulf to expel Iraqi leader Saddam Hussein from Kuwait during the Gulf War. In 1990, President George H.W. Bush sent troops to the Persian Gulf to expel Iraqi leader Saddam Hussein from Kuwait during the Gulf War.
Great job, guys. All right, next we have geography. For geography, we have Central Asia. I don't know if you have these same maps, but either way, this is where whichever map you use, whether you use these lines where you can color in or you use the maps in your foundations guide. This is Central Asia we're going to learn. So first we have Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan. Okay? You notice anything about all those names? They all end in stan. You can call them Central Asia, home of the stands. No, just saying. Okay, so again, pointing to the map here in this orange color, we have Kazakhstan. In the green, I have Uzbekistan. The light blue is Turkmenistan. The dark blue is Tajikistan, and the dark orange is Kyrgyzstan. Okay, so with our song, it's like this. Central Asia, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, Central Asia. Now pointing to it on the map. Ready? Central Asia, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, Central Asia. Good job, guys. All right, next we have science. How does heat flow? I have these sheets here. If you want them, I'll send them to you in your emails. But how does heat flow? Well, we have radiation, conduction, and convection. So how does heat flow? Heat flows by radiation, conduction, and convection. Here's our song. How does heat flow? Radiation, conduction, and convection. This is how heat flows. Again, can we say it with a cowboy voice? How does heat flow? Radiation, conduction, and convection. This is how heat flows. Yeehaw! All right. Good job, guys. Now we have, for English grammar, we have an adjective. So, an adjective modifies a noun or pronoun by describing, qualifying, or limiting, and answers the questions: what kind, how many, which, whose. Okay, and here's our song. Ready? An adjective modifies a noun or pronoun by describing, qualifying, or limiting, and answers the questions: what kind, how many, which, whose. Good job, guys. All right. And lastly, we have Latin. I know you guys are amazing at Latin. You guys have mastered Latin a long time ago, but we will review it. This is our, we're going to do the same Latin for this week and next week. We have the first conjugation endings, perfect tense. And I will play it for you and point to it. Are you ready?
Weeks 11 and 12, 23 and 24. Ero, eris, erit, Aramis, eritis, errant. First conjugation, future perfect tense.
Great job, guys. And that is week 23, new grammar. Hopefully we'll see you guys for presentations if we haven't already done them. And also you'll be getting science video. So see you later.